Ninth gold coin. Positive outlook in life. This is a story of an old man who was walking near the coastline. He observed that some meters away there was a boy who was picking something up from the sand and throwing it back into the ocean. The old man walked towards this boy and asked him, "Son, what are you doing?" The boy replied that he was picking up the small starfish which came out of the ocean. The sun was hot and he was afraid that they would all die. So he wanted to save them by picking them up and throwing them back into the ocean. After listening to this, the old man laughed and said, "Son, don't you see how many kilometers the coastline is, and how many hundreds and thousands of starfish have come out of the ocean? How much difference can you make?" In the meanwhile, the boy picked up another starfish and threw it back into the ocean and said, "I have made a difference to that starfish." Have you picked up the thought-provoking and life-changing lesson from this inspiring story? That not a single person has the capacity to change the whole world or the whole company, but still, if we can pick up the courage to bring the smallest positive change possible within our capacity and in our surroundings, then we should not wait, and we should strive wholeheartedly to make it happen. You might have seen helium-filled balloons of different colors floating high in the air. They might be different colors like black, white, red, orange, blue, etc. If you release all of them in the open air, they will all fly at the same height, irrespective of the color they are. All of these balloons, irrespective of their different colors, actually achieved such a height only because of the matter which is inside the balloon, and not because of their color. This is similarly true for all of us who belong to different nationalities, skin color, and origin. We do not simply gain height and growth in life and our professional career by virtue of these attributes. Rather, we get it solely because of the matter which we have inside of us, and this is nothing other than our positive mental attitude. Always remember that it is our attitude in life which solely determines the altitude which we attain in life. For example, what mental attitude do you carry towards your professional life? Is it positive or negative? What are your long-term career aspirations? Are they challenging and big, or meager and small? How do you view failure? Do you interpret it as a stop sign or a guideline to take more educated decisions next time? Do you view this world as a window of opportunity to do well with others, or an opportunity for you to fulfill all your greed and lust? A sincere answer to all such questions will determine the quality of your mental attitude in life, and it will become that matter which will set you to take off towards the height you are aiming for. So if you have not yet achieved some of your burning desires and positive goals, then first look into the mental attitude matter you currently carry within yourself. If this is not what you want inside, and it is not giving you the desired results, then the good news is you can still change it. Now, the question is, how can you attain such a winning, positive attitude all the time? The best way to attain it is to consciously start looking towards the positive side of each and everything in life from today. Just make this positivity proportionately bigger than any of the negativity which you might have in life and your professional career right now. Be careful with your choice of words and the language you are using in everyday life, as unconsciously it conditions your mind towards positive or negative aspects of life and continuously shapes your mental attitude as well. I like this interesting story of a person who decided to give a valuable life lesson to his daughter by putting some potatoes, eggs and coffee beans in front of her one by one in very hot boiling water. He then explained to his daughter about the outcome, that the potatoes, the eggs and coffee beans had each faced the same adversity, the boiling water. However, each one reacted differently. The potato went in strong, hard and unrelenting, but in boiling water it became soft and weak. The egg was fragile, with a thin outer shell protecting its liquid interior until it was put in the boiling water. Then the inside of the egg became hard. However, the ground coffee beans were unique. After they were exposed to the boiling water, they changed the water and created something new. After reading these moral stories, now ask yourself these questions. Who are you, and what do you actually become when adversity knocks on your door? How do you respond? Are you a potato, an egg, or a coffee bean? This will determine your inbuilt character identity. If you are lacking flexibility like a potato and resist the change which is happening in your surroundings, then remember it will crack you open. And if you are too sensitive, vulnerable, and soft inside like an egg, then your hardship challenges and change will shape you differently. But if you are soft and malleable like a coffee bean, then you will be the game changer, and your adaptability with your changed environment will make you ultra successful. There may be days when you get up in the morning and things aren't the way you had hoped they would be. That's when you have to tell yourself that things will get better. There are times when people disappoint you and let you down. There will be challenges to face and changes to make in your life, and it is up to you to accept them. So when the days that are filled with frustration and unexpected responsibilities come, remember to believe in yourself and all you want your life to be, because the challenges and changes will only help you to find the goals that you know are meant to come true for you, as far as you are showing the flexibility characteristics in your approach. Remember, there are no perfect places or perfect jobs nor perfect people in this imperfect world. So become like a coffee bean in all the domains of your life, and transform all of your positive characteristics to make this world a better place to live. Here is another true story on the flip side of how much difference we can also contribute negatively. There is a big cancer hospital in my native city, and one day, as I was reading a newspaper, I felt shocked to see some of the statistics published. 70% of the reported cancer cases in that hospital belong to one of the small industrial cities almost 100 kilometers away. I further discovered that this city is famous for the abundance of tanneries used for the chemical processing of raw hides and leather. Almost 2 to 3 decades back, when these factories were established, there was no such awareness regarding the way the factories should dispose of their waste. So the generated waste chemicals kept on spilling into a drain, which seeped further into the soil, and it polluted the underground water reservoirs. This practice has kept on going for years and has now resulted in death for many innocent people of the city, and has caused irreversible damage to the land. Can you recall the famous saying, "We have not inherited the land from our fathers, rather we have borrowed it from our children"? Keeping this quote in mind, do you realize the critical nature of the way in which all organizations and professionals should have to attain their respective social responsibilities while operating their businesses irrespective of how small or big they are? It is well to imagine what the huge subsequent consequences might be, along with the collateral damage to our world, if they deviate from our ethical responsibilities. Sometimes we get into the dilemma of looking at the big picture and we forget our role and the impact of those small steps and contributions which we carry in materializing our dream. For example, if you have been postponing some of your burning aims or desires, you can say to yourself, "Up until now, I did not do it, and now I am taking the first step." Remember, just take the first small step, and the second step will appear automatically, and then the third step, and so on. So do not get frustrated that you cannot change anything in your job situation or in your life. You can still start from where you currently are and do whatsoever you can in your current capacity. Always remember that everything counts, and in the end, it will be the accumulation of all of the smallest possible changes, contributions or sacrifices which can make the biggest difference possible, and which always have the capacity to distinguish winners from the crowd. During my routine once, I was on the jogging machine, which showed me that I had run around 5 kilometers and my speed was set at a fast pace. I realized the fact was that I practically had not moved even an inch away from my starting position. It was static, and all the readings on the machine were not wrong, but they were totally wrong. Do you realize that a great many times we feel that we are moving forward in life, but actually we are stagnant? We feel like the days and months are passing and we are progressing. However, we are not. We think we have improved ourselves, and actually we are deteriorating in all aspects. Sometimes the indicators are totally misleading. In order to make a tangible difference in life, the most important aspect of life is objectivity and not the process only. For example, if you are running on the jogging track machine to burn some calories, then it is the best thing to do. But if you are running on this track to go 5 kilometers ahead and to travel some distance, then wait a minute, you have chosen the wrong track. In our life, we need to establish clarity of outcome and then match it with the process which we are focusing on or adopting. Is it the right process, outcome match? Does it deliver what we are focusing on? I was at the golf course and trying to hit the balls, which unfortunately I was not hitting straight. They were taking different trajectories and landing in various directions. My coach walked towards me and told me that I should first look at the target I am trying to hit, and then proceed to hit the ball with the right swing. So if the process is not right, then the entire outcome will be mismatched for the required objectives to be achieved. This reminded me of a famous story about a young man who once asked Socrates, an ancient Greek philosopher, what is the true secret of success? Socrates asked the young man to walk with him towards the river. When the water got up to their necks, Socrates took the young man by surprise and dunked him into the water. The young man struggled hard and finally managed to get up. The first thing he did was to gasp and take a deep breath. Socrates asked, "What did you want the most when you were under the water?" The young man replied, "Air." Socrates said, "That's the secret of success. When you want success as badly as you want air, you will get it. There is no other secret." This is the whole success philosophy packaged in a nutshell. This is what we call a compelling reason. Like in this story, the compelling reason for the young man was to stay alive, and it was the reason for him to make such a struggle to rise above the water. Many times when people experience failure in projects or job interviews, businesses, or in life in general and so on, they immediately start thinking about quitting, and they do not bother to exert the equivalent amount of effort of that young man in the story who tried wholeheartedly to come out on the surface. So the true secret of success emerges from the roots of how strong your compelling reason is, which will drive your efforts towards your success. If you have not attained that success thus far and are thinking to quit, then take my advice. Do not change your destination. Rather change the compelling reason with a total positive outlook towards life. Become like a boy who was dunked in water and aim for success like that air. Success is indeed not so far. So, are you now inclined to make a difference with a positive mental approach in this world today, focusing on process and outcome, irrespective of how small it is? Remember, we all have only a single chance in this world to make it happen. Summary points. 1. We do not have the capacity to change the whole world, but if we can make a small difference somewhere and in someone's life, we should do it. 2. We need to realize our individual and corporate responsibilities towards society, as all of our actions have some resultant effects which may be irreversible. 3. While running on a track for success, we also need to be assured that it is actually the right track to run on. 4. We first need to establish the clarity of outcome and then match it with a selected process.